Welcome to the fourth and final part of our strategy primer. In this micro lecture, I'm going to be talking about the supporting organizational arrangements that are required to deliver a strategy. So according to Ireland and HIT, there are 5 organizational components that support the delivery of a strategy. So the first is the development, exploitation, and maintenance of core competencies. So we've talked about those a little bit, those bundles of resources and capabilities that give an organization the ability to deliver a superior service. These competencies add value, they're rare, and they're difficult to imitate. And they change when the general environment changes and when the competitive environment changes. So our expectations change along the way. So it's really important to develop core competencies for the present, but also be looking to the future so we understand what core competencies will be required to be successful as a nonprofit organization in the future. Second, we need to develop the human capital of the organization. So work with the people to hire, recruit, and develop people who have the skills needed for the current and future environment. Thirdly, we need to sustain an effective organizational culture. So organizational cultures are the shared beliefs and values and the shared beliefs about the appropriate responses to what's happening in the external environment. It's the way we do things around here. So if you've got a strategy that requires a change or shift in thinking to start to think into the future, then you have to have an organizational culture that will support that change. And so developing culture is one of the most difficult things to do and one of the most necessary to be successful in a major strategic shift. In fourth place, we come to emphasizing ethical practices. So this becomes really crucial as we see in a lot of examples in nonprofits. So in the United States, many years ago, there was a massive scandal around the executive director of the United Ways of America, and he had been dipping into money to pay for a lot of personal expenses and living a fairly extravagant lifestyle. And we see that here in Canada with the most recent scandal around We Charity and how they were paying some speakers and not paying other speakers. They had a for-profit and a not-for-profit, and it's not very clear how those two operated together. And of course, the student grant scandal, which kicked this whole thing off. So understanding ethical practices and what is ethical and not ethical within an organization is crucial to the trust of the general public, donors, funders like the government, and of course for clients. Finally, the last piece of the puzzle is creating a balanced control. So as an organization, you have to be able to manage the delivery of your strategy and know if it's working or not and make adjustments. So balanced controls do that. And in this course, we're going to be using the balanced scorecard as a way of managing and controlling the delivery of a strategy. So that's the fourth and final micro lecture in the primer on strategy. I wish you all the luck, and I look forward to talking to you more about strategy in nonprofit organizations.